Hey, hey,
What's up, everybody?
I'm back.
We're
We're
back.
back. And
Cool.
we will, are we here?
We're rocking and rolling. We're live on all fronts, folks.
All right.
I think. Yep, we're good to go. Welcome to the well, everybody. It's Wednesday at 1.
Boom. We will never ever figure out this audio thing, but somehow here we are, always making it work.
That's just what we do. We just make it work.
We're present with what is, you know what I mean?
It's kind of a little bit like how you navigate through life.
Yeah, it's crazy how things are connected that way.
That's a very beautiful segue to our topic today, which is your relationship with your inbox. But before that, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Hello, everybody. I don't know why I'm laughing so much right now. Uh, My name is Jomar. I am a mental performance and executive coach. I help high performers, high achievers in all sorts of industries get clear about what it is that they want, the patterns that are holding them back, and kind of level up in terms of going after whatever it is that they decide to go after.
That's cool. You have a cool job.
I do. What about your job?
My job's pretty cool too. I'm a facilitator of powerful conversations.
Oh,
I consider myself a transformational leader, and I provide transformational leadership out in the world through one on one coaching and business coaching and consulting, life guidance. And these live videos that we do once a week called The Well. I also have another little video series that I do called MTV, and you can check those out on Thursdays at 1:30, streaming right here on Instagram and inside Facebook at the Women's Entrepreneur Network Facebook group. Also on my YouTube sometimes.
plug,
That's
plug
it.
it.
I should plug another. Can I plug something else?
Sure.
It's my show. It's our show. I'm allowed to. I just launched a program called Enhance. It's a coaching program for coaches. It is about up leveling your way of being in addition to your coaching practice. I have never before brought my work of transformational leadership to coaches specifically, so I'm really excited about that program launching. So if you are a coach and you would like a more rewarding experience of your coaching practice, I implore you to check out emilylieb.com/enhance or send me a message, and I would love to have a little chit chat with you and see if it's a good fit for you, because it's going to be really fun and I do really great work, and now I'm bringing that really great work to coaches and it's going to be phenomenal. So that's my plug. Thanks for being here. We will now segue into our topic of the day, which is Mr. J.
Your relationship with your inbox. And
My mind's in the gutter. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're very clear to me. Um, so how this came about, I was telling you, how this topic came about was because as coaches, we're inclined to smoke what we're selling. And, what I was trying to articulate to you earlier on was, I was beginning this year really slow, getting aligned with my values. And then based off of those values, having a vision and then creating goals from that vision sort of cascades down from there. And part of that process was really like being ruthlessly focused on what it is that I want to create and where I want my energy to go towards. And so in that path, you're sort of needing to break down all of your habits, your thinking patterns, things that you put your energy into that's not serving you as well. And I had realized that I had this relationship with my inbox that it was sort of just habitual, where I would in the morning check it, 10 minutes later check it, be out at the playground with my kids, check it 10 times, at lunch I'm checking it. I'm just like, they call it when you slide it, when you PTR, pull to refresh, right? When you slide the phone, PTR, you pull to refresh. I had to PTR disease. I was like, well, what is happening here? What am I reaching for in this habit that's just ingrained in its day to day? Like, how is this serving me? And how is the mental bandwidth that it's sort of just built in this habit? If I freed this up, what else could it unlock? And I mean, I'm still in the process, but it's unlocking a whole bunch of things. So I'll leave it there and let you explore and swim in that ocean I've just put us in.
All right. Thanks for inviting me to play in your ocean. So the reason that I was like, super for this topic is one, I think it's really relatable for a lot of people, I imagine. And two, because it's a really beautiful symbol of essentially that concept of like how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so for you, for example, I would say when you look at the way that you relate to your inbox or this, addiction to your PTR, where
Pull to refresh, friends. Pull to refresh.
Pull to refresh. Pull to refresh. Slide her down and let the new emails show up. Where is that? Whatever that is, that need, that desire, that curiosity, that dopamine, whatever that thing gives you, where else does you chasing that thing show up in other parts of your life? How you do one thing is how you do everything. And the thought that I had when you were sharing was, it's interesting to see where we let something like our inbox dictate to us how we're going to spend our time, what we're going to spend our time doing, right? So like, how is your inbox dictating you and not necessarily you dictating your inbox? Tim Ferriss has some really cool things to say about your relationship with your email and with your inbox in the 4-Hour Workweek. I will disclaimer that I have not read the full book, but I am privy to what he talks about in regards to emails. And I think that it's a really big distraction for a lot of us. And I think it's so powerful to be conscious of where is your relationship with your inbox running, how you spend your time, filling some dopamine hit. Where is it sort of subpar in the realm of empowering you and keeping you like aligned and tuned in? Where is it distracting you away from that? And where can you be the owner of your inbox instead of your inbox owning you? That was a bit of a tongue twister. So that's that's what I got to say about that. Oh, let's see. We had a question from Coffee House here. How you do? Oh, it's not a question. How you do anything is how you do everything.
Just giving you love. Thanks, Coffee House.
Yeah, thanks, Coffee House.
I love what you said about. I forgot because we talked about Coffee House.
How do you own your inbox instead of your inbox owning you? Where do you let that dictate what you do and how you spend your time?
No. You were talking about like where else? Yeah, you were talking about where else does that show up in your life?
Yeah, that addiction to that dopamine hit, the pull to refresh, whatever that thing is that you're chasing. Where does that chase also show up?
Yeah, so for me, when I slowed that down, I had realized I'd catch myself in the habit, and the question I was asking myself in my mind when I would PTR, pull to refresh, would be like, what's next? What's next? I had this like engine of what's next from the moment I wake up to even when I go to sleep, of like I gotta know what's next so I don't miss out. I gotta know what's next so that I can plan ahead so that I don't miss out on whatever's next. I gotta know what's next so that I'm safe. I gotta know what's next so I feel secure. I gotta know what's next so I can cover all of my bases so so that I'm taken care of. And I mean, that showed up everywhere. That when I'm doing this sort of habitually, I was like, where is this showing up? I mean, everywhere. Like, where's this sense of like, I'd all of a sudden bought into this thing where if I plan to the T, I'm going to have freedom. If I plan everything, all the details, if I cross all of my I's and or cross all my T's and dot all my I's, I'm going to have a sense of freedom in that. And that was interesting to me that showed up in my relationship to inbox is this sense of like, I'm in control if I plan, and I'll have freedom of it. And what shifted is, I see it. If I break it down and if I pause and anchor before I even open my email, if I batch it 3 times a day, and I don't, I sign out of my emails. I uninstalled my Gmail app from my phone. I uninstalled all social apps from my phone. I have a different phone for all of that. Like, it's interesting how it's freeing me up to be more creative. I'm more clear on the things that matter on a daily basis. And I have just generally a sense of like completion to the day. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. So that's when you said, where else does this show up? That's what came up for me.
Well, I want to acknowledge you for having the foresight to know what works for you, like being able to have a separate phone and to know what boundaries you need in place and what those look like, both figuratively and literally, physically, is really cool. And I think that that's kind of the
Thanks.
invitation that we can propose to everybody watching is like, where can you just be responsible for what's so, right? So like, what's so is that you'd be at the playground and you'd be pulling to refresh your email like 10 times. That's just what's so. We don't need to judge it. We don't need to make it right or wrong or good or bad or blame or shame. And given you know that, and you can know what the impact that has on you, where do you set yourself up to allow your email or whatever it is that you're working on to actually serve you instead of it, where do you allow it to actually making deposits into your bank account instead of constantly making withdrawals from it? Because it sounds to me like you are withdrawing a lot from that bank account.
Yep. I love that because it's sort of this distinction around when you don't judge the behavior, you get curious about it.
That's right.
You can start to ask questions like, oh, it almost serves as a signal.
Totally. Whereas like blame or shame often just perpetuates that behavior.
Mm-hmm. So if it serves as a signal, you can ask questions like, what am I valuing here? What do I say that I value that this thing is telling me feels off, that this signal is telling me is misaligned? Then you can get really more curious about that,
That level of self-awareness is just such a gift and really something that I invite anybody and everybody watching, whether they're here on the replay or watching live, whether they're here live or watching on the replay. That just, again, it's like you're saying of pause and anchor, right? Where do you just pause and anchor and notice without any blame or shame? Notice without any judgment. Is this serving me? Is this aligned with my values? Does this bring me joy and fulfillment? And then can you give yourself permission to just do a little redesign if that's what's needed, Put all your apps on an old phone. Check that once a day or whatever it looks like for you in order for it to nourish you and nurture you.
Boom. I love it.
Let's leave it at that. It was like a weird, I love it. We should do more of these random, like getting really specific.
Random rambles.
Also, if you guys are watching and you have a topic that you guys want us to discuss, send it our way. We would really love to hear from you, and we love suggestions. We want to know what you guys are into, and maybe want to. Hi, Monica.
I see you, Cal. Thanks for watching.
All right. Well, we're going to be back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific because that's what we do. This is The Well. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, everybody. Much love to you. Enjoy your week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.